1,000 bees in the back seat. So we'll show you the process of putting them in their home.
In their hives.
In their hives, yeah. As soon as we get there. We are at home with the bees now, and they're sitting out by the shop while we get ready to put them in. One thing I did, my little contribution, is to fill up this bird bath. So bees need a source of water. A lot of times it can be a pond or whatever. We don't have a pond nearby. There is a creek, maybe a quarter mile away. Well, not even that probably. But and they will go that far to drink, but to make it easier for them, we do have this bird bath that we'll just make sure we keep full, and maybe put a few rocks in there for an island for the bees to sit and drink their water.
All right, well, we got our nucs and we got them sitting over there in a cool spot over there, and first thing we're going to do is get our hives set up. I meant to get that done yesterday, but I had a zillion other things I was doing, and so this is our spot that we've got right here that we need to get working on. So I guess we're going to take you all through it just step by step as we set up the hives, and even up to the point where we put the nucs in and get started.
Okay, the first thing we're getting ready to do is make a base for the beehives to sit on. And so we have this pallet here, and we are going to cut the edges off, make it straight and smooth so that it's easy to mow around quickly, and not have to spend a lot of time aggravating the bees when we're mowing. Bonus points for anybody that keeps track of the number of tools that Dave drags out during this project.
So we've got everything set up now, or just we got pieced in, and thought we'd just go over real quick with you all how a beehive works. We've got your main bottom down here, and it's actually got a screen in it that allows ventilation to come and go. And it's also got this bottom board down here, which you can slide this underneath here. And it serves two things. Either you can put that in just to catch droppings and just kind of, there's different ways you can look at things and check the health of your bees. I'm not going to go over all the different things you can look at right now, but that's just part of what that's for. Or like when it's real hot, you can just completely open that up and create lots of ventilation so that the bees don't, have to work so hard. Because the bees keep the hive cool in the summertime literally by fanning and all that like that. So
fanning their wings, right?
Yeah, fanning their wings.
Okay.
So how we got right now, there's the hives each have, I don't have a second piece on it right now, but right now you've got the lower hive body that this is pretty much all of these right here. The large ones is where the queen will start laying eggs and all the bees will develop comb, and they'll start storing honey in there as well. But then after the colony gets going real well, then we'll add on another super, is what they call it, on the top of it, which is just like these that we got here, except for they'll be a little bit taller, or I mean shorter, and they got shorter frames that go in there, and then that's where we'll start building honey up as we go on that. So,
and that will be the honey for us.
yeah.
But the honey that they make in here is what they eat.
Is what they eat.
They store that up for the winter.
And in between here, when you start coming up with everything, we put this right here up, and a regular bee can go through that entrance right there, but the queen is larger and the queen cannot. And if you leave that, if you don't put one of these on and you start putting your supers on top of it, then you'll start trying to, when it's time to harvest honey, you realize you've got eggs in it. So that's the reason we'll keep this thing on right here, to keep the queen down here, and that way we can always, that's one of the things is when you're checking on your bees, you're always, what you want to do is look at that and find your queen and see what she's doing, make sure everything's okay. There's a feeder that we put in here that, especially like when we're just starting the hive up, we've got this filled up with 1-to-1 sugar to water.
By weight.
That's by weight too. Yeah. So
it was a lot more sugar than I thought it was going to be. So people might wonder why you have to feed honeybees when they fly around and collect nectar, or collect pollen and eat nectar, or whatever they do.
Yeah.
So
well, I guess that's just basically just the beginning of the season is like when you're especially worried about that and you feed, and then that pretty much tapers off as you get into the nectar flow, and we start putting supers up above, and then you don't have to worry about that. So
okay. And then you've got two or three layers of lids that are going to go on top.
Yeah, after
two, I guess.
Yeah, if I go ahead and put this thing all together right here, I would have my next layer on right here. We'll put the queen reducer, and then you would have another super, but we're not going to do that right now. But we'll go ahead and put this top board on, and then we'll put this lid on top right here. And then that's what keeps it, when it rains and stuff, it flows off there, and it helps protect the hive from water going in. And
okay.
On the front of the hive right here, we've got I'm going to have to cut another one right now, because in the past we just switched the type of feeder we're using. Right now we're using this new type that goes inside. And in the past we had a little bitty piece that stuck out here, and we had a pint-sized jar that we'd put on with that same sugar water mixture. But that right there, we can put a whole lot more feed in there and don't have to keep worrying about it. And when you have the feeder outside too, you also have the danger of, you're inviting coons or whatever like that, any kind of critter that smells that stuff, and they want to come steal your sugar water. And I'm going to cut another one of these, but the entrance reducer, whenever we first start off, we'll put that in. We'll put that right there, or actually it'll go all the way across, and that reduces things coming and going. And the reason for that is, whenever the colony's young, they're not real. They don't have a strong defense system. They're just trying to worry about getting developed the hive, because or there's there won't be any comb in there. They're worried about building comb and building food sources, and so they're so busy doing stuff like that. And they don't have, being a small colony, they don't have defense systems. So if you've got a larger opening, that's like beetles or something like that start trying to come in there, that's like a great big area that they'd have to defend. But of course, once we get going and this thing starts coming up like that, this will come off, and that allows them all this room to come and go. Because at that point in time, you're going to have so many bees. If a beetle started to come in there, they'd get all the bees and hammer them. So they get the heck out of here.
So what Dave's doing now is taking out 5 of the, what are those called?
Frames.
Frames, 5 of the frames. And that's because what we bought is a 5-frame nook, which means when we open the case of bees that we got, it's called a nook, short for nucleus. There's 5 already established frames with eggs and larvae and some honey that they've already made and stuff like that. So that's going to go in that space there. So you ready to do this?
Yeah.
I feel like we're forgetting something.
What? Oh, I know. Now we're ready. Before we get going with the bees, we want to go ahead and get a smoker ready. Stay back, Willie. Willie is always ready to help.
And that's pine needles that he's using in there. I'm not sure why. It's because YouTube told him to.
I'd never used them before, but so far they seem to work pretty darn good.
And the purpose of smoke is, for whatever reason, the smoke, if you kind of blow smoke at the bees into their hive, it calms them down. They're not as eager to come diving out at you or whatever. So all right, we've got some smoke coming out. And I know when you blow the smoke at the bees, you don't want to do it like as hard as it'll go, because you're not wanting to blow a lot of air at them. It's more of a just the smoke, not the air feeling. Now these are the nooks that we bought. There's 5 frames inside. They're all enclosed right now. They've got air holes, but the bees can't get out. Although we've seen, I don't know, I saw 4 or 5 flying around it. I don't know if those were resident bees coming to check out the new neighborhood or if they had gotten out, but
I can hear them.
I hear them too. Let me get over here. All right, so taking that lid off as soon as we figure out how. A moment of truth.
Here they go.
Yep, they're all around us right now. All right, there we have them. If I drop the phone, it's because they sting the only piece of skin that is available to them right now.
I think we're going it all right now. Let me get my lighter.
Oh, Willie just got stung. Oh, poor thing. So interesting thing about bees, they're not just innately like sitting around waiting to find somebody. Oh yeah, one just touched me, I jerked. They're not just sitting here waiting for somebody to sting. In fact, they die when they sting you. So they'll only sting to protect their colony. That queen is in there, and their job is to protect that queen at all costs. And they do that with their life by stinging. So what we want to do is go in order. We want to start at one end and keep them in the same order in the hive that we're putting them in. So you may need that hive tool to get that unstuck, maybe. You see how they kind of went down in, and they're in there pouting right now because we blew smoke on them. That smoke's kind of blowing their way. All right, so here's what it looks like. We've got lots of bees.
It's supposed to just comb right now.
Yeah, comb. So I'd say the queen is more towards the middle. I wouldn't expect to necessarily see her right here on this one. But it looks like busy bees.
I'm going to go ahead and take this one and set it on over here.
We're going to carefully put that in on one side. Push it on over.
Oh, I smashed it. Probably made a mad.
There may be some bees lost in the, you might want to spray again, smoke them again.
They're all stuck together.
It's weird when you stand here and bees run into you. I'm trying to stay calm. Okay, lots of bees. Now that is some capped, I don't remember what it's called. Where the
capped brood.
Brood, yeah.
That's for the queen.
So that's good.
Queen just goes all day long. I can't remember how many eggs she lays. It's, I think, in the thousands. Just lays and lays and lays and lays all day long.
They're not going to sting me. They're not going to sting me. They're not going to sting me.
Yeah, right now I'm just trying to look around, see if I see the queen. It's just always kind of good to put.
That'd be a good place for her because there's an awful lot of bees piled there. Where's Waldo?
That might be her right there. See where my thumb's pointing. See how big she is? She's got like a, almost like a dot on her. I don't know if their queens are marked. Some places mark their queens and other places don't.
That's definitely her. Yeah, she's got like a black behind. Are we looking at the same one? Right there. Nope, we're not looking at the same one.
I'm looking at that one. So.
Okay, well, we're not sure. I just put my hand way too close to those bees.
Yeah, a lot of them look like that, so I don't know.
They're starting to buzz a lot and fly more.
Yeah, try not to do that. That aggravates them.
Yeah. Excuse the wobbly video for a second. I'm going to try to cover that hand up at least a little bit. Now I can just fly right in. That's real good. Good. Scary. All right.
The guy that initially showed us how to take care of bees, what's his name, Dave Zabrowski?
Yeah, down in Tennessee.
When he came out and showed us how to do it, or actually we went to his house, he went out and did he maybe put a...
No, he had nothing.
He had nothing on it? Yeah.
Nope, nothing.
And I remember one time and he said, oh, I think I got stung.
And he picked the bee off and threw it on the ground and went on with his life. There's the queen right there. Is that for sure the queen?
Oh yeah, she's a lot bigger. Yep, there she is.
All right,
that's
we got a queen. That's good. That's really good.
And don't smash her now. Be careful.
Don't kill the queen. I think we might need a little smoke both
This isn't a chest cam. We're not trying to.
in there and
Yeah. Goes.
bad time to set the woods on fire. That should calm them down a little bit. That's probably good. That's a lot of smoke.
Whoa, what you smoking, man?
Wow, that one's even more full of bees. That's a lot of bees.
As we look here, I don't know if y'all can see the difference of the first frame we put in there and this one right here. This is a plastic frame that's just a one piece, all manufactured frame and foundation that the bees start laying on. The other ones we had right there are wood frames, and when you get them, you get like a kit full of them, and you nail them all together, and there's a piece of plastic foundation, they call it, that you slide in there, and that's what they lay on, as opposed to this is just one piece. I kind of, the first ones I did the wood ones just because I thought it was like, well, that's neat, and I like woodworking and all that kind of stuff. But I think these are just as, they're easier. They're, you don't have all the pieces they're going to break, and it's a whole lot easier to deal with.
One more. I hope the buzzing sound is coming through this video. I hope
Mr. T
Willie's
weighed in there.
I hope Willie's not allergic to bees.
Really?
Is he still behind me?
He's laying on his back and his legs are straight up in the air.
David Bosch.
Okay, so we got her all filled up now. So
okay, now we're make these bees really mad. I think he put the lid on and everything first, though. You want to do that first? Maybe, I mean the lid over here.
Oh,
yeah. I would smoke them again and get them down in there. Alrighty, now we'll put that lid on. We've got the queen reducer, which again we don't really need right now, but it doesn't hurt to have it on there. That's for when there's more layers. That's the lid. And then the telescope lid there.
Mm-hmm. And that's that.
Okay, now we need to make bees mad. I'm going to step back to this one a little bit. Get out of your way. Knock them all down into one corner. Maybe we shouldn't have put the lid on it. And then we just throw them at the entrance. That way they know where home is. Wow. Let's just irritate them as much as we can. And we even broke the thing. All right. That is hive all put together. We come
I
in
think I'm just
here.
going to go with that method next time. That's one of the other methods they recommend is just set it next to it.
Yeah. There's the hive. There's bees going in and out. And they should be very happy with their new home. All right, we've made it through the second nook, and there just are not as many bees in this one at all. And we've not seen a queen. Definitely does not mean she's not in there. But there are also, if you look, there are several dead bees in here. So I don't know if this whole nook is just not as healthy, not as good. So we think that might be the queen. She was down in the bottom.
Why everybody's not up surrounding her, I don't know. Because
She seems kind of lethargic. Sorry, a bee just came to my bare hand. You can't judge me by my videoing with all these bees around. So I say drop her in there and maybe they can, I don't know, do they nurse them back to health?
a little careful to put her in there.
She wants to stay with you.
She's in there now.
Okay. So another thing we're noticing is this first hive we did, they've kind of slowed down now, but there's bees going in and out. And over here, this one, nobody's doing anything. I don't know why. If the queen is sick or whatever, I don't know if the bees desert her like that. And I don't know why they're not going in and out of the hive. So I'm a little bit worried about that hive right there. Well, all we can do is wait and see how they are doing in a week. We know what to watch for, and we'll video when we come out here next week and check on these hives. They're getting settled in, and it's going to take them a little while to acclimate to their new home and find their water source and where the best flowers are and all that. But they will. They're amazing creatures, and we'll talk more about those next week. All right, so that's it for the video this week. We are finishing up, cleaning up, and heading inside. I hope it's time to start supper. I'm getting hungry. So that's all for Bosch Bees. Ooh. All right, see y'all next week.
Thanks
for
for joining
joining
us.
us. Bye.